anything else. And everyone was doing it. Girls on boys, boys on girls, and of course, girls on girls. But never boys on boys. This was Los Angeles in the late 90s, and despite being literally surrounded by water, shit just wasn't that fluid back then. After that first night, toe-sucking was a given, like the backyard, or the series of pages and callbacks that eventually led us there. Though to be perfectly frank, I never participated in the latter. I mean, sure, I had a beeper. Everyone had a beeper. And while I could drink and toe-suck with the best of them, I wasn't about to 411-143 star 88 so you know it's me. Any of those dudes. It was just too intimate. And like my parents used to love to remind me, I was only 14. But as long as I had my girls Isabella and Dahlia by my side, I knew that eventually one of the boys would swoop us. If David himself were picking us up, we'd pile into his E-class and I'd wonder about the life that would lead an otherwise unremarkable, kinda nerdy 19-year-old boy into his own brand new luxury sedan. But alas, such were the marvels of the north side of Santa Monica. $1 million cottage mansions with pantries stuffed full of name-brand snacks. Driveways with multiple Mercedes. Backyards with hot tubs. And whole rooms designated for games. The north side of Santa Monica, where friends were always over and always welcomed to stay for dinner, and where parents were always away on vacation. Or business. I never understood the mechanics of such living. Yet I pondered them relentlessly until we pulled into the liquor store. Then it was either a bottle of Bacardi Limon, or as much natty ice as all of us could stomach and afford. When Portia was with us, she would always make the boys pay. She was older, 16 at least, and classier than the lot of us put together. Still, it never felt right to me having the boys buy the booze. The implications terrified me, and I would make a point to show that I could fund my own intoxication. It seemed like the smarter thing to do. And I was just naive enough to imagine I had principles, and ignorant enough to imagine that those principles would keep me safe. Those boys had it made. Hanging out with young girls who would insist on paying for their own booze. Ending up in hot tubs at the end of the night, toes and mouths, for nothing. We were all amateurs, really. But I digress. On this particular night, Ricky's night, we all opted for natty ice and snuck onto the polo field at Will Rogers Park to pregame. Dahlia always brought apples for the horses on Will Rogers nights. When we used to go horseback riding every summer at Y Camp and Big Bear, if you could get her to even sit on a horse, she'd be shitting her whole pants with fright. But at Will Rogers, with them safely tucked into their stables, trespassing in the dead of night, Dahlia could walk right up, apple in hand, like a damn horse whisperer. So there we were, pounding can after can of sparkling malted piss water, and I just knew I had to say something to Ricky. I mustered up the liquid courage to ask if he wanted to race. "Oh, yeah?" he grinned. "Do you seriously think you can beat me?" His look was all fun and mischief and toothsome possibility. No one had ever looked at me like that before. And though I was on the verge of disappearing into 1,000 glittering bubbles of amber, I managed to squeak out a charm I'm proud of to this day. "I have an older brother. I've been training for this my whole life." If there were ever a moment in which Ricky could have loved me back, it would have been right there on the dew-soaked grass of the polo field in the midnight moments before the great race. We took the field together, eyes locked. Back at the table, someone shouted the countdown. At go, we shot out like cannon fire. I had never felt so alive. Maybe it was the April fog that clung to our clothing, or the intoxicating aroma of the eucalyptus trees that filled our lungs, or the squish of soggy